What's up, YouTube? Do you feel lucky here? And you saw that right. I have year 3 Thorn, and I'm going to tell you how to get it. Now, to get the exotic quest to drop, you need to do bounties for Shiro 4 in the Iron Temple, which basically involve doing stuff in the Archon's Forge and doing public bounties in the or public events in Plaguelands. Not too hard. I only did a couple of them, and it ended up popping up for me and get it. Now, once you get the bounty, you have to go talk to Eris Morn in the tower. What she tells you to go do the Wretched Eye Strike, which is the new strike for Rise of Iron. Basically, it's the one with the Splicer Priest that took the eye out of the Ogre. It's on Earth, I believe. You just have to go do it on any difficulty. I just did it on the base difficulty, the level 38 one, so nothing too hard, and just go complete it, beat the thing, boom, you're done. Once you do that, it automatically goes to the next step of the quest, which this is where this quest gets a little bit time consuming. Now, the second step is to kill fallen splicers, basically the fallen splicers in the Plagueland. So basically, it took me probably, granted, it took me about 10 minutes to do this. I have a clip of about 10 minutes solid of doing this. It probably killed, between 100 and 200 fallen. Basically, I just went to the Archon's Forge and started doing some of the events there. Basically, kill a bunch of the splicers, and it just adds up, and boom, it's done. Not too bad. It's just a little bit time consuming. I mean, like I said, it took me about 10 minutes to do this, I think. So, I mean, not too bad. It just depends on how many games. I got lucky and I ran into some public events on the way to Archon's Forge, and I had some people throwing some things at the Archon's Forge. So probably I got more enemies than you might normally encounter. But give or take, it should maybe take you about 20 minutes at most to do this. Now, after you do that, this is the third step is the most consuming. You have to get void kills in the Crucible. So basically, you need to get Void Secondary, Void Heavy, and your Void subclass, and go into the Crucible and do it. And this took me probably about 10 matches to do. So probably average about 100 to 150 Guardian kills with the Void. So basically anything so obviously if you have your Void Secondary, I was using a Fusion Rifle. I had a Void Rocket Launcher as well. If you have something like a Void Primary from year 1, so I forget what the Void Primary was from the Vault of Glass, but I know Word of Crota from Crota's End was obviously a Void Hand Cannon. So if you still have that, you can still use it. Obviously, levels don't matter in Crucible. Might make it a little bit easier. I recommend doing this if you have it this week or whatever. Look at the bounty Shax has for the week. It's pretty simple. That's what I did this during it. I was playing Supremacy. Basically, get Nightfall tier reward for doing it. So I would look at that maybe to knock a couple things out at once. So you're burning through, so you're not just wasting time doing random matches. It worked out pretty well. But once I did this, this is probably the longest part. Pretty simple to do, but it's just time consuming, really. Now, after you finish this part, step 4 is probably the easiest part of this entire quest. You just have to consume 5 motes of light to cleanse the weapon. Super simple, so just go over to your motes of light. I put a couple weapons to gain some experience on that I had, and just popped 5, boom, weapons cleanse, goes on to the next step. Now, if you don't have 5 motes of light, which is probably unlikely, you're obviously going to be level 40 for this. All you do, if you see the experience bar at the bottom of your screen, you just fill that up, you automatically get 5 of them. Not a big deal, shouldn't be too hard. Now, once you do this, it goes on to the final step, where you have to go to the Abomination Heights, which is the, I believe it is it's the year 1, it's the year 3 version of I can't think of the name, the Summoning Pits. It's the year 3 version of the Summoning Pits. So you just go to the Summoning Pits on the moon, and click on the difficulty, and there's a 320 light called the Abomination Heist. So basically, you have to go kill the Ogre at the end, and you have to open the chest once you kill it in the middle with the skeleton key. Now, I had the first skeleton key you get from the game. I saved it because I was reading on Reddit and stuff how you get Thorn, so I kept it just for this reason. Now, when I did open the chest, you still get your strike exclusive loot, and you'll get Thorn right out of the chest. So once you complete the chest, once you open the chest, Thorn pops up right there. It comes out of the chest. You don't need to do anything, and the quest ends right there. Now, if you don't have a skeleton key, the only way to do it, to get them, is do strikes. Basically go into the heroic strike playlist, and from what I was reading, it's every 5 to 7, give or take. It can be more, it can be less. Strikes, you should get a skeleton key. So you just have to play through those, which is pretty worthy because you get good gear from doing the heroic strikes anyway. And that's probably gonna be a little time consuming if you don't have one, but if you have one, I would just save it for this. So even if you don't have the bounty, you have a skeleton key, I would save it just for the purpose of getting Thorn. Now, once you're doing that, boom, you're done. Thorn's an awesome weapon. Basically, I played with it in the Crucible. I played with it in PvE. Crucible, it isn't really the monster that I remember it being. I mean, the nerfs that they did to it they definitely worked. I mean, don't hate me for this. I almost feel like Thorn needs to be buffed a little bit because obviously the damage over time is insignificant. It does 2 damage normally, and then 1 damage. I believe that they have the Lord of Iron, the Iron Lord's artifact on that reduces damage over time. So basically, you get 2 ticks for normal, 1 tick if they have the artifact on, which is basically essentially nothing. I think I only had the damage over time kill 1 or 2 times over the process of like 5 matches, and not much anything crazy, but you still can 3-shot with it. It's still a fast firing weapon, so if you like a fast fire and powerful hand cannon, Thorn is still that for you, so that's definitely great. In PvE though, man, I love that thing. I did the daily mission, the daily heroic mission, and I was just destroying things. The damage over time in PvE is great. You just, it still keeps shields down. It just burns through enemies. I was burning through ultras. And I think it was, what is the daily heroic today? It was, the Meridian Bay. It's the final, the Gate Lord. It's the final mission of the original story of Destiny. And I was burning through the 3 giant minotaurs with Thorn like they were nothing. So it's definitely a great PvE hand cannon. The only issue with it in PvP is you run out of ammo so easily. So definitely if you have like boots or something to raise ammo for your hand cannons, definitely recommend having those if you want to use Thorn in PvE. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys use this to get Thorn, and let me know if you have it down below, or if you have the bounty, if you have any troubles. But leave a like if you like this, subscribe to the channel for more Destiny Rise of Iron content. But I'm gonna get out of here. Before I do, remember, stay lucky.